If you thought this offseason was going to be quiet for the Commanders, you're completely crazy. Let me tell you this. In the last 24 hours, 3 pieces of news have come out that will change everything you thought you knew about this franchise. First, we have a second-year linebacker making waves in the OTAs and could be the missing piece in our defense. Secondly, and this is what really has me worked up, Terry McLaurin, our scary Terry, is in a contract battle that has the entire organization on edge. And thirdly, the trade rumors are flying like never before, with teams like the Patriots and the 49ers circling like vultures. Do you think Adam Peters will let the best offensive weapon we've had in years go? Or does he already have a master plan that we don't see? Stay until the end, because what I'm going to tell you will define the future of this franchise. And if you're true Commanders fans, you must subscribe to this channel, because you won't find these stories anywhere else. Look, after years of watching this defense struggle against dynamic offenses, we finally have a reason to be optimistic. Jordan Magee, the second-year linebacker out of Temple, is making a splash in the OTAs, and I believe this is exactly what we needed. But do you know the complete story of this guy? Magee was picked in the 5th round of the 2024 draft, and from day one, he showed flashes of what he could do. At Temple, this young player racked up 347 tackles in his 4 college years, including a senior season where he logged 108 tackles, 8.5 tackles for loss, and 3.5 sacks. These numbers don't lie. Do you remember last year when Magee injured his knee in preseason? That injury ruined all the coaching staff's plans for him. The coaches had developed specific packages to use Magee against certain offensive groupings, but the injury put him on injured reserve and limited him mainly to special teams upon his return. But here comes the really interesting part. Defensive coordinator Joe Witt Jr. says Magee has shown an impressive command of the scheme and looks incredible in practices. Do you know what that means? It means we finally have real depth at the linebacker position. And I'm going to tell you something the coaches aren't saying publicly. Magee has a natural instinct to read plays that can't be taught. In his 8 games last season, though, limited mainly to special teams, he showed flashes of speed and football IQ that impressed the entire coaching staff. His coverage skills are superior to what we expected from a rookie, and his ability to blitz from different angles is exactly what this defense needs. But do you know what excites me the most? That Magee has the kind of versatility that modern defenses crave. He can cover tight ends, rush from the edge, drop back in coverage, and has the speed to track running backs in the backfield. In a league where offenses are using more and more formations with multiple receivers, we need linebackers who can do multiple things. I'm telling you this, Bobby Wagner won't be with us forever. The man is 35, and although he's still elite, we need to prepare for the future. Wagner logged 132 tackles last season, which was fantastic. But what happens when he retires? Are we going to be desperately searching in free agency again? And if Magee can stay healthy, we might have the perfect solution for that transition. The coaches are so impressed with his progress that they are considering giving him more defensive snaps this season, not just limiting him to special teams. But do you know what the craziest thing about all this is? Magee was a 5th-round pick in 2024, which means Adam Peters found a diamond in the rough. And now I ask you, how many times have we seen the Commanders develop young talent like this? Almost never. Historically, the Commanders have struggled to develop linebackers. Since London Fletcher retired in 2013, we've had a parade of mediocre linebackers. Mason Foster, Will Compton, Zach Brown, none of them were able to consistently fill that void. Until Wagner arrived last year, we hadn't had a truly elite linebacker in years. The linebacker position doesn't have much depth on our roster, so there's a lot of opportunity for Magee to become a key piece. Beyond Wagner, we have Frankie Louvu, who is solid but not spectacular, and after that, the options become questionable. And with training camp starting on July 22nd, this is going to be the perfect chance for him to prove if he's ready for that next level. I predict Magee will have an immediate impact this season, and by 2026, he could be ready to be our main linebacker. Can you imagine a defense with Magee as the brain in the middle, along with the pass rush we already have? With players Like Montez Sweat and Dorrance Armstrong on the edges, and now with Magee anchoring the middle, we could have a truly fearsome defense. And here comes what really has me worried. Terry McLaurin, our scary Terry, is in a contract battle that could completely change the future of this franchise. And I can't believe we're getting to this point. Look at the numbers. McLaurin just had a spectacular season with 82 receptions, 1,096 yards, and 13 touchdowns. 13 touchdowns! He's had 5 consecutive seasons with over 1,000 receiving yards, and his base salary for 2025 is just $15.5 million. Do you think that's fair for a receiver of his caliber? But I'm going to give you the complete context of why this situation is so critical. McLaurin was drafted in the 3rd round of the 2019 draft, and since his rookie year, he has been the only constant in an offense that has had more quarterbacks than a college team. He's played with Case Keenum, Dwayne Haskins, Kyle, Allen, Alex Smith, Taylor Heineke, Carson Wentz, Sam Howell, and now Jaden Daniels. Do you know what it means to maintain that consistency with 8 different quarterbacks? That's not normal. That's extraordinary. Throughout all those years, McLaurin never complained, never created drama, never pointed fingers. He just went to work and produced. His career numbers speak for themselves. 384 receptions, 5,195 yards, and 34 touchdowns in 5 seasons. And this is with inconsistent quarterbacks and offensive coordinators changing every year. Imagine what he could do with stability. The issue is that McLaurin, who is now 30, is looking for a contract that puts him on the level of the elite NFL receivers. And I'm telling you this, the man deserves it. After everything he's done for this organization, after being loyal through all the tough years, are we going to haggle now? Let's compare numbers. Davante Adams is earning $28 million a year. DeAndre Hopkins made $27 million in his last contract, and Keenan Allen is making $20 million. McLaurin is seeking around $30 million, and considering his production and consistency, that's reasonable. But here comes the really worrying part. Adam Schefter reported on the Pat McAfee show that there are no updates on McLaurin's situation, and that is the issue. McLaurin skipped the mandatory minicamp, which means things are serious. Very serious. And you know what bothers me the most? We have $21.6 million in cap space, and the chemistry McLaurin has built with Jaden Daniels is impressive. Did you see how they connected last year? That connection doesn't build overnight. In the last 4 games of last season, when Daniels really started to gel with McLaurin, Terry averaged 8.5 receptions, 115 yards, and 2.25 touchdowns per game. Those are Hall of Fame numbers. And this was with a rookie quarterback still learning the system. Now I ask you, is it worth risking that chemistry for a few $1 million? Especially when McLaurin is not only our WR1, but also one of the most important leaders in the locker room. And here's something many fans don't know. McLaurin has been mentoring young receivers like Diami Brown, Jahan Dotson, and others. He has taken on a leadership role that goes beyond what's in his job description. Do you know how valuable it is to have a veteran leader like him? Beyond the numbers, McLaurin represents stability in a franchise that has been anything but stable. He has been the face of the offense during some of the darkest years in franchise history, and now that we finally have a young quarterback with potential, are we going to break up that partnership? And I'm going to tell you something else. If the Commanders let McLaurin walk, they're going to be kicking themselves for years. Because finding a receiver with his combination of skills, professionalism, and leadership is almost impossible. And with Daniels entering his 2nd year, he needs every weapon possible. The front office might point to Mike Evans and the Bucs as an example of why they won't go that high. But I'll tell you, McLaurin has been more consistent than Evans. Over the last 5 years, Evans has had the benefit of playing with Tom Brady and a more stable offense, while McLaurin has done it with inferior quarterback play. And if you thought the contract situation was complicated, wait until you hear this. The trade rumors are flying. and there are two teams looking at McLaurin like sharks in bloodied water. First, we have the New England Patriots. Can you imagine Terry McLaurin in a Patriots uniform? And I'm going to tell you why this possibility terrifies me. The Patriots are in a complete rebuild mode, but they need proven talent to help develop Drake May. Stephon Diggs is recovering from an ACL injury at 31, and while he's a great player, nobody knows how he'll look after that injury. Kyle Williams is still an unproven rookie, and after that, what do they have? The Patriots have more than $60 million in cap space, and they desperately need a WR1 for Drake May. And here comes the scary part. McLaurin would be the perfect fit for what they need. A veteran receiver who can immediately step in and be the go-to guy while they develop their young talent. But do you know what worries me the most about this scenario? That the Patriots under Bill Belichick always had a history of maximizing veteran talent. And though Belichick is gone, that organizational culture of getting the most out of veterans still exists. McLaurin in that environment could have even more success than he's had here. Imagine McLaurin with an offensive line that actually protects the quarterback, with a running game that takes the pressure off the passing attack, and with an organization that has a history of winning. It would be devastating for us. But here comes the really crazy part. The San Francisco 49ers are also in the mix. And this has me more worried because the 49ers have worked with our front office before. Do you remember the trade that brought Deebo Samuel to the DMV? That relationship already exists. The 49ers are in a different situation than the Patriots. They're not rebuilding. They're trying to win now. Brandon Ayuk is coming back from ACL surgery, and while he's a great player, coming back from that injury is always risky. Ricky Pearsall has potential, but he's still largely unproven at the NFL level. The 49ers have the third largest cap space in the NFL, according to SpotRack, and could easily pay the $30 million a year McLaurin is seeking. And here comes what really worries me. The 49ers know how to win championships. Can you imagine McLaurin in an offense with Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, and the rest of that supporting cast? With Kyle Shanahan calling plays and Brock Purdy distributing the ball, McLaurin could have career-best numbers. And for a player who has never been to the playoffs, that opportunity might be too tempting to pass up. But do you know what really has me on edge? That if the Commanders decided to make a trade, they would be looking for a combination of draft capital and young talent. And I think both the Patriots and the 49ers would be willing to pay that price. The Patriots could offer a first-round pick plus a promising young player. With all their cap space, they could also take on McLaurin's full salary demands without blinking. For a team that's rebuilding, adding a proven veteran like McLaurin would be huge for their credibility and for helping develop Drake May. And the 49ers? They could offer even more because they're in win-now mode. They could part with a first-round pick, a promising young player, and maybe even a veteran contributor. For a team that's been so close to winning it all, adding McLaurin could be the piece that puts them over the top. Think about this. The 49ers need a reliable receiver for Brock Purdy, and McLaurin has shown he can be that piece. With Jawan Jennings as their other most productive receiver, adding McLaurin would immediately make them Super Bowl favorites. And the Patriots? They're rebuilding, but adding McLaurin would give Drake May the type of target he needs to develop. It's a win-win situation for them. But here comes what really bothers me. Both teams have better supporting casts than what we can offer McLaurin right now. The Patriots have a better offensive line, and the 49ers have better coaching and better weapons around him. And I'll be honest, if I were Terry McLaurin, and my current team wasn't willing to pay me what I'm worth, I'd be looking at both of these opportunities very seriously. The Patriots offer a chance to be the guy on a historic franchise, and the 49ers offer a chance to finally compete for championships. Now, I ask you, do you think Adam Peters will let the best receiver we've had since Art Monk go? Or does he already have a plan to keep him that we don't see? Commanders fans, I tell you this with all honesty. These upcoming days are going to be crucial for the future of this franchise. We have Jordan Magee emerging as a potential star in defense, which could solve our depth problems at linebacker. This is not just another young player. This is a guy who has all the tools to be Bobby Wagner's successor. His versatility, football IQ, and ability to make plays in coverage are exactly what modern defenses need. Do you think Magee is ready to be the foundation of our defense for the coming years? Terry McLaurin's situation is what worries me the most because we can't afford to lose the heart of our offense. With all the chemistry he's built with Jaden Daniels, it would be a massive mistake to let him go. This man has been loyal through thick and thin, has produced with inferior quarterback play, and now that we finally have stability, are we going to let him walk? Do you agree with me that the Commanders should pay McLaurin what he deserves? And these trade rumors with the Patriots and 49ers have me on edge. Because if we lose McLaurin, we not only lose our best receiver, but also one of the most important leaders in the locker room. The Patriots could offer him a chance to be the guy, and the 49ers could offer him a chance to finally compete for championships. Which team do you think would make the best offer if it comes to a trade? But here comes what really has me worried. Both of these situations could end up being better for McLaurin than staying with us. And as a fan, it hurts to admit, but it's the truth. We need to step up and show him that we're committed to building something special here. I need you to tell me in the comments, which of these 3 news pieces concerns you the most? Is Magee's development what excites you the most? Or are you as worried as I am about McLaurin's situation? This is exactly why you need to be part of this family. Because here, we don't just cover the news, we analyze it from the perspective of true Commanders fans. Subscribe right now, because tomorrow we're going to have more explosive news that you can't miss. Hit like on this video if you believe the Commanders should pay McLaurin, and subscribe if you want us to continue being the #1 channel for Commanders news. And remember, hail to the Commanders!